Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today we're going to meet a really interesting person and see a really interesting rig. So welcome Mig, tell us how long you've been on the road.
Let's see. It actually, okay, this is going to sound ridiculous, but it actually started in 1965 because I was watching that TV show, The Wild Wild West, and if you remember that show, he traveled around in the train. And when I saw that, I always knew that someday that was going to be me. I wasn't going to be a spy, but I was going to have something that was traveling around. And so, in reality, though, I retired a little over 2 years ago, and pretty much got rid of almost everything, and started just traveling around. I don't think of myself as a nomad. I guess I should say that. I think of myself as a nomad, traveler, adventurer. And so I travel around doing whatever I feel like, and sometimes I'm in my trailer, or not my trailer. This is actually, I share this with my nephew and his wife. We bought it all together. So when I use it, I use it. If they want it, they want it. They can take off with it if they need to. I'll travel around in one of the cars and use a tent or whatever, or I'll just visit with people along the way and places like this along the Colorado River. But for the most part, I just pretty much do whatever I want, and I call that being a nomad.
I call that being a nomad. I think that's the classic definition.
It's like the Wild Wild West.
Yeah. So you don't have a home base. You just you're either in this rig or in tent or the rig.
I don't have a home base, but I guess I'm kind of different because I have 4 different outposts. I have a place in Colorado that I go I help people out that need me because I'm around the area. I have a place in New Mexico, I have a place in Arizona, and then I have a secret place. It's just places where I can go, and it's like I feel like I have a place that's not really you live there, but it's your place where you can go. Kind of like back in the olden days with Wagon Train or whatever, they always had the outpost they'd stop at, and they knew that was where they can spend some time and get refreshed.
Right. Yeah, I kind of think of them as a home base. Mm-hmm. They're a place where there's something there that I go back to.
Yes.
And I think that's great. So a couple of years ago you retired, so you're living on your retirement, Social Security.
Yes.
So this is kind of an unusual rig. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. It's a Hunter Compact Junior. This one was made in 1972. The company that makes them is based out of Los Angeles, just north of Los Angeles, California. They made them from 1968 to 1975. It weighs about 900 pounds as it came out of the factory, but they can weigh up to 1,300 pounds, and then whatever the wiggle worm is for whatever you're hauling inside of your own personal possessions. I've only seen this is the only one I've seen in person. There's one other one, someone has a YouTube video where they were modifying the interior, but as it turns out, I was at the RTR opening ceremony, and a man pulled up on a motorcycle, and he told me that his daughter actually has one, and it's in Arkansas right now. And so he was very curious to see this one and compare it with his daughter's. He took a whole lot of photographs, and he thought that the interior of this one was better than the layout for hers because it had some different unique features. So yeah.
Yeah, they're rare. You don't see a lot of them.
Yeah, and how do you say, when we were looking for a trailer, I already knew we wanted something old, because if you get something that's even sort of new, it's eventually going to be 10 years old. And if you do decide you want to stay at an RV park, they're probably going to tell you no. So they usually say, well, let me look at it first, and then they'll probably say no anyway. But with something like this, even though it's 48 years old right now as we film, they always say yes. If I decide I'm somewhere I need to stop in an RV park, yeah, you can come in. For some reason, they really like stuff that looks vintage.
Yeah, classic. Somehow our heart goes out to classic stuff.
Yes. And this one, it'll never lose its value. Whatever you pay for it, it's only going to go up because people are always going to want them.
Do you mind if I ask how much you paid for it?
No. Actually, just as a prelude to that answer, we bought it in Arizona. And it was right over there by the Superstition Mountains. There was a couple there that had it for a couple years, and they asked $8,800, and we gave them full price. And some people might say, were they wearing a ski mask when you bought it? But no, they weren't. And that's actually a really fair price, because we've looked on the internet for a long time to see what the prices are, and that was a fair price, because these things could actually go for over 10 into the teens real easily, but because it's in such good shape.
Uh-huh. So. Yeah, no, and it's a great rig. The lightweight, the fiberglass is one of the most reliable and durable things you can have.
Yes.
They really last. And
like I said, it's light and it's really easy to tow.
So you actually retired a little bit early?
Yes, and the reason I decided to take the earliest possible retirement was because I had a silent heart attack. And a silent heart attack is kind of weird because you honestly don't even know you had it. And so like the next day, I felt like I had some kind of a flu bug, and it was summertime too, so it wasn't like it was winter and you're going to get cold. So I had some type of a flu bug, and I went to the one of those little corner medical hospitals, if you want to call them that. And so basically, when I went into the corner, I guess you call it the 7-Eleven hospital, they told me that they thought I had bronchitis, and all the prescriptions they gave me weren't really working. And I think I sat around with a week trying to decide that this was going to cure. And then I went into the primary care doctor, the real doctor office, and they sent me to a heart specialist, and they said that one of my heart chambers was just packed with blood and it wasn't getting sent through. And I always thought, okay, that's not true. Who believes it? I didn't believe the doctor. I said, yeah, I've always had a big heart, so that's not true. And it turned out it's true. And the bottom line was, you have 4 arteries on your heart. Well, one of my arteries is evidently clogged, and 3 are working. So it's kind of like the same situation when the freeway has a lane closed and all the traffic's backing up. The blood wasn't able to flow properly, and that's why the chamber was so full of blood. And they said, well, you had a silent heart attack. And they said, well, what if I just sat around and didn't do anything and just kind of let it figure out how to flow get the blood flowing on its own? They said, you'd probably die in about 2 more weeks. So it was a good thing I decided to go into the doctor. You think everything's fine just because it feels like the flu or bronchitis, but it wasn't. And so they gave me a little bit of, all they did is they stuck a little TV camera on a little tiny needle, I guess, and they put me to sleep, and they sent it up the artery in your leg, and they go inside and they look. When they looked, they decided that it was too clogged for a stent, and so they didn't do anything. I have nothing. I still only have 3 arteries instead of 4. I just have some special blood pressure and 3 other types of medications I have to take, and it keeps it from, as long as they gave me a little monitoring device, and as long as I'm within the parameters, everything is fine. It's been that way now for just almost 3 years. And so then the other thing I asked them is, how long does someone have to live? I said, I only have 3 arteries. I said, how long do I have to live? They wouldn't tell me. So if you Google the internet, they gave 3 answers. They said, if you're really bad, you have 1 year. If you're kind of sort of just okay, you probably have 5 years. But the longest anyone lived was 15 years. So I said, you know what? I'm going to retire.
I'm retired.
I'm retiring. And then the other thought was, can I do anything? And it said, yeah, you can just act. So I just do whatever I feel like. If I feel like I'm getting short of breath, which I never really feel, I don't even know that something was wrong. I have no idea that I only have 3 arteries right now.
You know, so many of us wait too long. We just think I'm going to live my normal, conform to society's dictates and work and work and work, and then something comes up and we realize, man, we've missed out.
Yeah.
We've missed out.
Yeah. When you're free like this, all of a sudden I've been able to go and visit family members and people that I haven't been able to see for years, and everybody's always so happy to see you. Oh, can you stick around and help us do some extra things or whatever? It's been a really interesting collateral fun event that I didn't expect to have people be so excited to have you come and visit and do things with them. Because now you can stay. You don't have to stay for just the weekend. Oh, I gotta get back to work. You can stay for as long as you want, as long as they'll put up with you.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Yes.
So anyway.
So you've actually found that you've made more connections.
Yeah.
Since you retired and moved into the rig.
It's a lot more fun.
More fun and real heart-to-heart connections with family.
Yes.
Okay, do you mind if we want to show us around your rig?
Yeah, you want to look at the outside really fast?
Sure, let's do that.
Because it's different on the outside than probably most other people's. So.
Right, let's take a look.
Okay.
So, how's the Ford Ranger doing towing it?
This Ranger has been really good. It's 1999. It has a 6-cylinder with a standard, and it has absolutely no trouble pulling, up to 1,300 pounds with that trailer. You don't even know it's there. There's a sway bar, and you don't even feel any type of movement with the trailer when you're driving. It'll get, on a good day, you'll get 25 miles to the gallon. On a bad day, you'll probably get 13, and that happened once down by Carlsbad, New Mexico. The wind was horrible, and that was before I even put the sway bar on there, and it was a very difficult day, and 13 miles to the gallon was the best the truck was willing to give. So the truck works really nice for doing this. The Ranger's a good choice.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, well, another thing too is I put that tarp, not that tarp, but that cover on the back, that hard, those fold-up tarp type covers. It's hard, and so you have extra storage in there, which is kind of special because some of the things that you want to take are large, like I have a wagon and a stroller for the cat, and I do have an ice chest in there. So this is a big thing, and this is kind of nice too. It's just a habitat tent for any animal. That you can find these on the internet. Just Google habitat tents for pets, and you'll find different varieties. This was only like $45, and it gives Tabitha a place to come outside and enjoy the day. And it collapses down really tiny, so you can put it in her cat stroller, and you can set it up anywhere. You can take it to the park, anywhere. And then also, then the trailer here, so it does have 60 watts of solar, and that's not enough to really do anything special, but all you can do is keep the battery charged so that you can turn on the lights at night for a short amount of time, or you can charge your cell phone. And yeah, 60 watts, and there's really no place to put any more solar. Someday I might get those type of panels that those maybe 400 watts, those ones that you set out on the ground that I've seen you guys advertise or talk about a lot. But also for power, so we have a generator that puts out 2,000 watts, I guess. And so that keeps it going. And there's propane in there, so we have propane. There's a when we get inside, I'll show you how the heater system works for the propane.
So you have lots of windows, and you have a pop top.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so that goes down with the pop top. That canvas is pretty secure too. But the pop top, with the pop top down, I'm going to say it's probably 5'7". If you're that tall or shorter, you're in good shape. And with the top up, it's a 6'3" person can be in there comfortably. So you got your outside. You can hook up to outside water, if you're staying somewhere, or it has just it has a 13-gallon tank in there with an electric pump. So you have self-contained water. This here is for the drainage. So this is my gray tank. There's actually a container that you set out here with the hose, and that's where your gray water will go, and then you just dispose of it, in whatever scenario makes sense. And so yeah, Compact Junior, they made a couple different versions of it. They had the Compact 1, the Compact 2, and of course the Compact Junior. This one it's 13 feet long, but it's not 13 feet if you exclude the tongue. So it's only about 10 by 6, so you have like 60 square feet of living in there, which isn't bad. When you see inside, you'll be impressed. This is the original interior. I don't think that any of this has ever been changed. Since I haven't owned it the entire lifetime, I think I'm pretty confident because I've seen some photographs. This is the original interior. The people that had it before the people I bought it from did do a couple of upgrades though. For example, sit down. Hey, actually you came on a good day because the maid has been here today. She put us some real mints on the beds.
All right.
So we're in good shape. So basically what they did was, the people that did it, they put in an air conditioner. And this work, the generator doesn't even make any extra power sound when this air conditioner is going.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's nice that, it's not going to run 24/7, but you can run it just long enough to get it cool in here. And if you're not going to be in here all day, then who cares? You ran it long enough to get cool. They set it up so it can have a microwave. The other thing that they put in here is they put in this catalytic heater. And this works perfectly fine keeping the place warm if it's probably in the 40s or 50s or 60s. If it gets too much colder than that, I'm thinking it's not all that great. So that's when the generator comes into play, because I can turn on the electric heater. And how do you say, we also put in this TV with a DVD player on it, so you have a little bit of entertainment. There's obviously enough power to keep all your devices running. Plenty of storage in here.
Yeah.
This here cabinet. Okay, the original layout, because I have the original pamphlet for this. They had a table here, and so they had this thing put in. So they had the table part taken out, and this was like an option you can put in. So they had this put in, so which was a really good thing to have done, because oh no, I don't have any table anymore.
Yes, oh wow, that's fantastic. Yeah.
And the nice thing about this, so you have a couch on each end, and these are also like a single bed. The nice thing is, if you're sitting on one end, someone can lay down and still be sleeping, and you can have your breakfast. Or you can put in the planks and put in the cushions properly, and you have like a pretty huge bed in here.
Yeah.
Two normal size, not huge, adults can sit in here comfortably. So it has a full kitchen. It has it has propane. This is propane. I think I don't know if I mentioned that or not for the heater, but it has a full kitchen. So underneath there, this is the original stove. There's a 3-burner propane stove under there. It has a sink over here. Okay, so the sink, this here cutting board just sits on top of the sink. But I decided that the sink was kind of a wasted space, and so I'd be sticking stuff in there. But then every time I wanted to use the sink, you had to get all your stuff out. So I found this, and you just put stuff in here, and it fits in the sink. So now you can just take that out real fast, and you have your sink back, but you still have your cutting board if you want it.
Very nice.
And then also, since this trailer is old, I tried to keep some nostalgic looking things in here. So I have this old candlestick phone. It doesn't get the internet, but
No.
There it is. So I keep all these containers for the drawer. So you usually have your junk drawer.
Yes.
Well, the junk drawer does get messed up. So I have like categories of stuff. These are like maybe the tools. These are like just random things. And then these are like things that have to do with lighting, batteries, etc. Okay, so the most important question of where's the poop situation? So I combine pooping with the other most important question. How do you make money if you don't have some type of retirement income or whatever? Well, I've combined the two in a very unique way. You can poop, but if you poop, It cost 5 cents. And so far, we're doing pretty good. Anyway, and this here toilet. Oh yeah, Tabitha shares the bathroom with me.
Oh yeah.
They have the cat, so the cat needs the spot as well. But this is kind of a cool toilet.
Oh wow, that's a nice toilet.
Yeah. So I also have the luggable loo, because this works, but you can see it's kind of everything's tiny, I guess, when you're in a tiny place.
Yeah.
But as you can see,
That's factory. That came from the factory like that.
No, actually, I found, since I like to get old things to keep with the trailer, I was in an antique store and I saw this, and it was only like $40. And because I have the other toilet still, it's the one that what do you do? It's the one where you put the chemicals in it, and then you can pick it up.
Composting toilet?
Yeah, it's not composting.
Oh,
it's
no.
The other one.
Yeah.
The other toilet where you can actually take it and dump it, but that's kind of weird to keep messing with that. So I thought this would look much more appropriate in here, and still usable. And then this here is the medicine cabinet, and the glass recently broke, so I'm going to get that kind of glass that's made out of non-breakable material, and it's basically like aluminum foil, but it's not aluminum foil. So there's the medicine cabinet.
Nice.
And then they'll give you one other secret thing. If you remember from the Wild Wild West, their train wasn't just for since they were secret agents, they always had something special where they had everything hidden. So I know you do those van builds. So I always thought it was, and then even in houses, I've always had like a secret room. So there's a secret room in here, but it's kind of tiny.
Oh, wow.
So I'm thinking on van builds even, people wanted a spot where you can sort of stash things, and hopefully nobody will discover that it's there. There's little tricks like that you can do to hide some of my meds, to hide your special things. I just had toilet paper in there, but you can put whatever in there.
Part of life.
Yeah. So here's the canvas. This is electrical connection for the fantastic fan, but this is the original design for how you make the top pop. Some people put those compressed gas air shock scenarios in here. They replace these, but these still work just fine. The bad part is it's kind of heavy, and so I kind of go like that, and then you want to grab your canvas and kind of tuck it in and let it come down on one part. So there's 4 of them. So you just line it. You can line it up. And you can put that in there. That keeps it in place.
Nice. Very secure.
And even with the knot in there, it's always secure. When it's closed, you have these little latching devices, these little hooks. You can see there's a little hook there, and the hook underneath here, and so that way your top's not gonna fall off while you're cruising down the road. So I did computer programming and computer technology from '79 to 2009, but I also had a chance to teach a video class for K-8 school, and so I have a YouTube channel that we used to put our videos on, but since I retired, I kind of took all the videos off and I just put my stuff on there. The video channel is called Zoom Mike Robinson. So ZOOM Mike Robinson.
Okay.
And it has a variety of things. It has some stuff that we do for traveling and some just behind the scenes stuff that happens as I'm doing. Like I said, I'm not considered like the adventure part, so there's more adventure type things that happen in there.
Well, Mike, thanks so much for sharing your home and your life with us. It's amazing. I can see why you fell in love with this and wanted to have it.
Oh, thank you.
It's a great home.
Yes, and thank you for showcasing. I really appreciate that.
You're very welcome. People are going to love this.
All right.
Folks, I know you got something out of this. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and hit that